Let's take you now to Dallas, where former President George W. Bush is speaking at a naturalization ceremony.
And it's going to be a privilege for me just in a few minutes to call you a fellow American. By custom, most Americans don't realize this, but citizens-to-be are known as candidates. Although for this kind of candidate, there are no debates, fundraisers, recounts, or opponents. Just a room full of friends to say, congratulations, we are glad you're here. I'd like to point out that not only are you becoming an American, but as Laura mentioned, you're a Texan. And if you walk out of here with a little extra attitude in your step, it shows the culture is taking hold. We have individuals and families from many backgrounds and cultures. As candidates for naturalization, you represent more than 20 countries. That's what brings us all here. You know, the future we have in common and a ritual that represents something fundamental and noble about this country is about to take place. You paid America the high tribute of aspiring to live here, leaving behind familiar ways and places, and accepting a process that everyone knows is not easy. Our country, in return, honored your efforts, and soon will be honored to call you citizen. The United States of America is in many ways the most successful of nations. Historically, where immigration is concerned, we're also the most welcoming of nations. And these two facts are related. So many of us can draw a line somewhere back to a man or woman who had the idea that life could be better, and that hope led them here. Generations of new arrivals left their mark on our national character in traits that friends abroad still recognize as distinctly American: our optimism, our independence and openness to the new, our willingness to strive and to risk, our sense of life as an adventure dignified by personal freedom and personal responsibility. Such qualities don't come out of nowhere. A spirit of self-reliance runs deep in our immigrant heritage, along with the humility and kindness to look at someone less fortunate and see yourself. Across the world, good men and women still dream of starting life anew in America. People who bring energy and talent and faith in the future. Often they bring a special love of freedom because they have seen how life works without it. The great yearning of so many to live in our country presents a significant challenge. America's elected representatives have a duty to regulate who comes in and when. In meeting this responsibility, it helps to remember that America's immigrant history made us who we are. Amid all the complications of policy, may we never forget that immigration is a blessing and a strength. Public debate on the matter can get pretty sharp. That's not exclusive to this issue or these times. I guess you've noticed by now Americans like to speak their minds. You've just signed up with a boisterous democracy. And my hope is that you take the duties of citizenship seriously, participate, and vote. And for whatever the opinion of one retired politician might be, I believe we will see our way clear to immigration policies that are just, fair, and in the interest of the whole nation. That starts with recognizing a plain responsibility at the border. And in an often chaotic situation, being willing to state the obvious. Borders are not arbitrary, and they need to be respected along with the fine men and women of the immigration services and the Border Patrol. Immigration statutes likewise reflect the will of the people in the Congress and must be enforced. And when the laws are outdated, and ineffective. They must be rewritten. I hope those responsible in Washington can dial down the rhetoric, put politics aside, and modernize our immigration laws soon. As president, I worked hard on comprehensive immigration reform, and I regret that our efforts came up short. Today, emotions can cloud the issue, but here at the Bush Center, we're clear-eyed about the need to enforce our borders and protect our homeland, and about the critical contributions immigrants make to our prosperity and to our way of life. To that end, we've published America's Advantage, a 3-edition handbook of research on immigration's positive effects on our economy. Our Central American Prosperity Project brings together leaders to strengthen economies, expand markets, and to reduce pressure on our southern border. And we've convened a bipartisan immigration policy working group to develop a blueprint for comprehensive immigration reform. For the ideal outcome, we need to look no farther than this very room, and to a joyful moment you've waited for a long time. The path from application to oath ends on a beautiful morning in the great state of Texas. And I'm not going to put it off any longer, except to say that Laura and I are proud to share the day, to look you in the eyes and call you a fellow citizen. Congratulations, and may God bless you.
All right, George W. Bush at an immigration ceremony there. And how cool is that, that you become an American citizen and you've got a former president of the United States there to help swear you in. What a wonderful moment. We'll keep an eye on this naturalization ceremony, bring you more news as warrants. For now, though, quick break. We'll be right back. You're streaming CBSN, CBS News, always on.